What's up, everyone? I'm GG Pinball. On this week's episode of Virtual Pinball News of the Week, it's alive! That's right, young Frankenstein comes to visit us in VPX. Stick around, you don't want to miss it. Hello, all my beautiful little pinheads out there. Let's get right into this because we got a busy one coming up. Stern has announced their next table, and that would be another Jurassic Park table. But this one is different from the last one, or the Data East one, or the Sega one. This one is designed for at-home use. What does that mean? Other than the MSRP being low for a pinball machine, still a little bit much for me. This table's got some cool stuff going on. You've got a jump ramp in the back. You've got your T-Rex multi-ball where it starts spitting out at you. And I think the interesting one to me is this table is designed by Jack Danger. You might also know him from his channel, Dead Flip. Dead Flip is known for showcasing Stern tables as they come out. He's got his own YouTube show that's fantastic if you haven't watched it. This, to my knowledge, is the first table that he's actually designing with Stern. Maybe it makes sense for somebody who has a pinball collection like that to have a table that's designed for at-home use. All right, we got a whip alert. That's right, work in progress. This one's on the Future Pinball side, and it's quite interesting to me. A shell of Godzilla has appeared. That's right, the brand new Godzilla, not the Sega one. The brand new Godzilla that Stern had just released. We now have the artwork and shell built in Future Pinball. Quick Draw, the guy who does these types, literally that's what he does, is he mocks up the physical part of it. This table's not playable. Designers will use these as shells to create their own thing. Something like this might be cool for, say, someone like Marty, who does a lot of modification and updated like mixed tables. We'll go over his newest in a bit, but it's quite interesting to see how quickly even the shell of something like this popped up. We're gonna keep an eye on that, and if we get any updates on a release of a Godzilla, I will definitely let you know, because I really want to play around with that huge mech tower in the back, so pretty cool. Tip of the week this week. If you're using Pinup Popper, you know that you can customize your menus and you can flip around. One of the things that I've done recently with mine is put manufacturers, but there is a quick, easy way to keep this updated always. We're going to use a custom playlist. You're able to make this custom playlist and you can put in code. I'll have it down in the description at the bottom. When you enter this code in there, it's going to filter out the tables and put in your tables by whatever you filter it out to. So for example, on my machine, I have it by manufacturer, so Data East, Stern, Williams, Bally's, and once I update the information as I add a table, it will automatically refresh that list and these tables will be on there. My lists in general are done by manufacturer, and then it lists the tables actually by year release. This is like a pinball library almost for me. So, you know, you check your manufacturer and then it shows you pinball and how it's advanced through the years per company. Really cool thing to check out. Again, check down my notes below and I will give the full description of the code of how to enter that into your Pinup Popper. Now it's time for our releases of the week. But first, do you have a pin cab? Do you like to play virtual pinball? Do you want to play me in pinball? Because I want to play you. The Elite Virtual Pinball Weekly Challenge is a group on Facebook that competes weekly. We got 3 tables a week. You have a week-long table for league play, you have a mid-of-the-week throwback table, and you have a Weekend Warriors table. Lots of tables thrown at you, some that aren't available to the public, just for the group. It is an awesome experience. If you want to come play with awesome people and you want to play me, I suck, then come join us. Link down in the description below. I want to see you there and I want to play you. We're going to start this week with the pick of the week. That's right, Hauntfreaks has put out Young Frankenstein. This table is based off of the Mel Brooks classic Young Frankenstein movie. He's got something like 70, 80, 90, so many call outs on this. This is a beautiful table, original. The artwork is superb. It's like a cartoonish version of the table. It is a tough one, I won't lie. It is definitely a tough one, and it plays tough, but it is worth it. Definitely one you need to play. You need to have it on your table. This is a good one for Halloween and just in general because Young Frankenstein is the... VPW has put out a beautiful version of Tron Legacy, the Stern 2011 table. As I always say, VPWs are must-haves on your cabinet. The amount of detail and precision that they put into their tables is incredible. If you haven't already played the Tron Legacy table, it is a crazy table and it is a light show. You've got these clear ramps that have the neon lights going up the side of them. You've got this cool ball spinner in the top middle that has like lasers coming out of it. It's a really cool table. Definitely check it out. It is a must-have if you play virtual pinball. Keeping up with his kid-friendly themed tables, Phenom has just released Dreamworks Trolls. This is a beautiful table. This is not to be confused with the Zen Pinball version of Trolls. This is more of an original for him. Definitely something cool for the little kiddies if you want to get them on an actual cab and not just play around and click around on the phone. Phenom has also released a Peppa Pig table for the kids out there, as well as Bluey. Great tables to get your kids involved in pinball. I can't express enough how important it is to get them started young and get them really to love this. Team Goldchicco putting out a very obscure one that I've never heard of before this week. 1986 IDSA's V.1. It's a pretty cool looking table. This is staying around the generation that Goldchicco usually concentrates on. Never heard of it, but definitely something that I'm gonna get some flips on this week. All right, I might butcher this next one. Goldchicco has put out the paper 1987 Wolfman. Never heard of this company, never heard of this table, but this table looks pretty cool, especially with Halloween in mind coming right around the corner. It's got a cool 80s horror B-movie vibe to it with the werewolf trying to eat this girl at the bottom. And it's another one of those tables with the square bumpers. Definitely a cool one. Keeping with that obscure theme, Belater has put out Atari's 1978 Middle Earth. This is not to be confused with the Hobbits, okay? It's not Hobbit themed. These Atari tables I feel are always interesting when I see them out. Superman was a great one that came out recently. Atari had their own thing going for them, and honestly I feel was pretty ahead of their time when they were releasing tables. I wish they could have stayed in it and released more. I did mention this on a tip of the week recently that if you can't find a regular table for VPX, the VR tables will work on a cabinet setup. You just gotta mess around with the settings and the viewpoints and whatnot. So this week, I'm gonna talk about 2 VR releases. Senseless has put out the Williams Classic 1979 Gorgar. This is about the 3rd time I've talked about Gorgar on my show. I've talked about him previously on a release table. I've also talked about him in my Halloween special that just came out. Gorgar is a really cool table. One of the things I love about it is the heartbeat that goes and speeds up as gameplay gets a little more intense. Definitely a cool one I would check out on VR just for the headset experience alone. I'm sure that sound and the environment that you can get in the VR headset must be like heart pounding. For you EM lovers out there, Loser76 has released Bally's 1975 Bow and Arrow. You got this cool Native American vibe going to the table. Might be a good one for Thanksgiving. Retro27 has released a Stern 2011 Rolling Stones LE. This is definitely a dad rock table. My personal favorite thing about the table is being able to shoot your balls at Mick Jagger. Yeah, I said that. Switching over to mods, this has been quite the interesting week for mods, I must say. Marty02 has come out this week with the Theater of Houdini. Yes, this is a Theater of Magic mod to look like the Houdini table. Marty is known for doing these cool mashups of tables. He'll take an older table and mash it up with a newer one. He's done this with tables like Elvira, where he took the original Elvira and the Party Monsters and put a skin on to make it look more like Elvira's House of Horrors, which is the newer Stern table. He did a really awesome Guns N' Roses more recently, where he took the Data East Guns N' Roses and kind of put the playfield on for the Jersey Jack version, and he does some modifications in this. This is no exception to that. With the Houdini table, one of the interesting things you'll notice is he's added magnets around the table. Almost all the hands here on the playfield have a magnet, so definitely introduce some different gameplay mechanics that you have to watch out for if you're used to playing Theater of Magic. Ballatito has put out the Mad Max Fury Road mod. This is a mod off of Twister with this Mad Max theme. It's done a great job here of keeping that movie feel of Mad Max into a nice one to check out. Jay Rourke has put out Logan's Run. This is a re-themed version of Gottlieb's Arena. Gottlieb Arena is a really cool table. Your plunge shot goes into this loop area that's up here. Definitely a unique mechanic you don't see too much in pinball. This is a really cool one. Bally, who has previously done the Game of Thrones mod, has done a mod off of Strange Science, which he has rethemed to Breaking Bad. Strange Science was a great table to pick for this because it actually translates very well with the idea of the lab and transferring stuff into the lab and cooking the meth. Great sound effects, great graphics, awesome. Starline has put out a version of Spider-Man. This is based off of the early to mid 2000s Spider-Man movies. He's got a cool design here where he's got that split thing going between Spider-Man and Venom. Definitely love it. Awesome looking table, 10.7 need to play. Sticking with the kid-friendly tables, Fraish has put out a table. His first time is a mod of JP's Pokemon. It looks like he has taken a lot of these models and put them through Blender and redone them. Beautiful detail. The plastics look fantastic. This was always a fun one for me to play, especially with my kids. This might be a really fun one for you to play as well. So that about wraps things up. If you've liked this video or found anything interesting, make sure you pound that subscribe button and that like button. If you have any requests, questions, or anything like that, hit me up at ggpinball@gmail.com. I'm GG Pinball, and this has been your Virtual Pinball News of the Week.